Exploded now. Tottenham push for Antoine Semenyo's £65 million clause. Bournemouth braced for impact. Spurs ready to strike before rivals even blink. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham have just been thrown into one of the most dramatic transfer opportunities of the January window, and it revolves around the Premier League's most explosive breakout forward. Antoine Semenyo David Ornstein has now confirmed what Spurs insiders had been whispering for weeks. Bournemouth inserted a £65 million release clause into the Ghanaian's contract, and crucially this clause is activated only during the early stretch of January, designed to give the Cherries enough time to scramble for a replacement. For Tottenham, that figure is not only within reach, it's considered a golden chance to finally land a player they have chased relentlessly since last summer. Ornstein further revealed that Bournemouth's hierarchy already expect the worst. Behind the scenes, they privately accept that keeping Semenyo may be nearly impossible. The forward has reportedly told people close to him that he wants the move now, not in the summer. Semenyo's form has only intensified the storm: 6 goals, 3 assists, and performances that have ripped Premier League defences apart. He's younger, faster and more decisive than most forwards currently available, and Tottenham see him as the exact type of player who walks straight into Thomas Frank's first 11-no rotation. No slow integration, a guaranteed starter. Liverpool, heavily linked since October, remain one of the clubs monitoring the situation, but sources close to the Reds insist they are unlikely to spend £65 million in January after their heavy summer spending. And even if they tried, Semenyo himself understands the reality. At Anfield, he would be competing with a long list of forwards. At Spurs, he would be the main man the moment he arrives. Tottenham, however, are not relying solely on the clause. According to Give Me Sport, the club are already exploring swap deal structures to either soften the financial blow or accelerate Bournemouth's willingness to engage. 3 names have been floated internally. Yves Bissouma now out of favour and barely used under Thomas Frank. Manor Solomon currently on loan at Villarreal but expected to leave due to lack of minutes. Richarlison inconsistent, increasingly frustrated and edging closer to the exit door. All 3 are seen as genuine make-weights that could tempt Bournemouth into negotiation even before the clause window opens. Spurs believe that if they can present a player plus cash package early enough, they might secure Semenyo before rivals even react. Inside Hotspur Way, the mood is shifting. Semenyo is no longer viewed as a target, he is viewed as the priority signing. The recruitment department sees this as a rare alignment of price, timing, desire and opportunity. And with the striker pushing for the move, Bournemouth bracing for impact and Liverpool hesitating, Tottenham suddenly find themselves in the strongest negotiating position they've ever had. If Spurs pull the trigger quickly, Antoine Semenyo could become the first major transfer earthquake of the January window and the forward they believe can transform their season overnight. Spurs have been thrown into one of the most winter transfer races of the season, and the spotlight is now firmly fixed on one of Europe's most electric wide forwards, Christos Tzolis. The Greek sensation has erupted at Club Brugge this year, and his rise has been so explosive that 4 Premier League clubs are now preparing to battle tooth and nail for his signature. Team Talk reports that Tottenham have added Tzolis to their priority list for January, after weeks of internal scouting reports describing him as one of the most dangerous wide players outside the Big 5 leagues. His numbers this season speak louder than any rumour. 8 goals and 9 assists in 23 appearances, with several of those contributions coming on Champions League nights, where his pace, decision-making and fearless dribbling have torn through established defences. But it's not just his club form fueling the frenzy. Tzolis has become a standout for Greece, shining in their recent victory over Scotland at the Georgios Karaiskakis Stadium. His confidence is soaring, his impact undeniable, and Premier League sides are scrambling to get ahead before his value skyrockets even further. Tottenham, however, are not alone. Aston Villa, West Ham and Crystal Palace have all jumped into the race, with Palace even attempting a move last summer before being pushed back by Brugge's firm stance. Now, with January looming, the Belgian club know they can name their price, and they have. £35 million is the figure on the table, and they are refusing to budge an inch. Behind the scenes, Brugge are fully aware that interest is only growing. Borussia Dortmund are the latest club to monitor the situation closely, with scouts attending multiple matches to assess whether Solis could be their next major development project. European competition for the player is increasing, pushing Premier League clubs into accelerated talks and early preparations. At Tottenham, the recruitment team sees Solis as a potential instant impact, signing someone who can offer goals, creativity, and relentless pressing from the left flank. His versatility across attacking positions is viewed as a major advantage, especially for a squad still adapting to Thomas Frank's system. Spurs want more firepower, more unpredictability, and more players brave enough to take games by the throat. Solis ticks every box. Sources suggest that Spurs are quietly confident they can position themselves ahead of their English rivals, but the club knows time is critical. Villa are pushing hard. West Ham see him as a perfect fit for their counter-attacking style, and Palace believe they can offer guaranteed Premier League minutes immediately. Every club in the race feels they have a legitimate shot, and that's exactly what makes this transfer chase so volatile. With the window fast approaching, the pressure is intensifying. Brugge are holding firm on their £35 million valuation, Premier League clubs are preparing their opening proposals, and Solis himself is ready for the next big step. What was once considered a long-term move has now turned into one of the most urgent battles of the winter market. Tottenham have entered one of the most intriguing transfer situations of the upcoming window, and this time the spotlight lands firmly on one of La Liga's most technically gifted forwards. Takefusa Kubo, the Real Sociedad star, long regarded as Japan's next global superstar, is now being positioned closer than ever to a Premier League move, and Spurs are watching the situation with intense interest. Reports in Spain suggest that Sociedad are bracing themselves for a major offer, with the player set to be made available for £52 million. And according to former club legend Bixio Gores, the Basque side may have no real choice but to accept it. Speaking to COPE Radio, Gores admitted that an offer of that size would place Sociedad in a position where refusing becomes almost impossible. He even confessed that the club would only receive half of the fee, making the financial pressure even greater. Behind the scenes, there is a growing sense that Kubo's departure is increasingly likely. His performances this season have only amplified the interest around him. His ability to glide between the lines, cut inside with precision, and operate across all attacking positions has made him one of the most unpredictable forwards in Spain. At just 24, the Japanese international is still climbing, still improving, and still showing signs of a ceiling far above where he stands. Today for Tottenham, this is more than a simple search for squad depth. It is an opportunity to add a player with elite creativity, high-end technical flair, and significant commercial weight. Inside the club, there is wide acknowledgement that the attack lacks invention and needs someone capable of unlocking rigid defensive setups. Kubo fits that profile perfectly. His decision-making in the final third, his sharp movement off the ball, and his growing goal contributions make him a realistic solution to Tottenham's long-standing creative gaps. The commercial impact is another talking point. Spurs know better than most what a top Asian star can bring, having seen Heung-min Son become not only a Premier League icon, but also a global marketing powerhouse. Bringing in Kubo would instantly multiply the club's visibility across Japan and the wider Asian market. Executives inside the club view this as a rare dual-benefit signing: elite football quality paired with massive global appeal. For Kubo himself, the Premier League is seen as the next frontier. Those close to him say the idea of joining a major English club has always been in his long-term plans, but now the timing might finally align. Moving to Tottenham would give him the platform he has been aiming for: a competitive league, a high-intensity environment, and a manager in Thomas Frank, who is known for elevating technically gifted forwards. Sources suggest the 24-year-old believes a move to England could ignite another level of his development. Sociedad, meanwhile, are preparing for the inevitable. They know the release figure is substantial, but the market is moving quickly, and clubs across Europe are aware of Kubo's trajectory. Tottenham must now decide whether they are prepared to commit fully and meet the asking price, a decision that could reshape their attack for years to come. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything Tottenham, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Don't forget to drop a like and share this video with other Spurs fans. Together we can keep growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!